Welcome to the Parapsychology Foundation International Affiliates Conference. We're on live today from now through about 7:30 p.m. and on live tomorrow from 10 a.m. through 5:30 p.m. And as you can tell, we've got Dr. Alejandro Parra from Argentina, Dr. Yuki Kokubo from Japan, Dr. Chris Rowe from England, here's Wellington Zangari and Fatima Machado, both from Brazil, and Dr. Mario Varvoglis. And from here on out, this is on Sunday, and these are the two speakers that we'll hear today. This is the schedule for today. Today we have our opening comments. Then at 3 p.m. Eastern, we have Alejandro Parra on research and parapsychology in Argentina. At 5 p.m. Eastern, and actually 7 a.m., where Hideyuki Kokubo is, at 7 in the morning at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll close up the day at 7 p.m. So that's today's schedule. All right, Lisette, I'm closing off my microphone. I'd like to introduce you to this lovely lady in the video who is Lisette Coly, the president of Parapsychology Foundation. Okay, I'll get out of the way.
You can tell I'm a dinosaur, guys. I'm not too technologically swift. But basically, I was just trying to welcome you, even though it's afternoon here in Manhattan, in the midst of a blizzard, so I can't even out the window. But isn't it wonderful that other look not snow right now? So let me start our opening, my few opening comments. I remind you that 65 years ago, our founder, Eileen Garrett, my maternal grandmother, visualized the formation of parapsychology traditions toward primarily three areas. In 1961, she dedicated our organization first finding resources to provide grants and financial support for study, along with second, the formulation of a library and public relations staff answer the demands for information and literature for a complex and often misunderstood subject, assist those students and academics ready to work and study within the parapsychological framework. Third, he understood the necessity to bring scholars together from different countries for discussion, as well as the need to keep those contacts alive if the eventual advancement of theoretical discussion results in concrete action. So let me quote directly the ladyship, Eileen Garrett, when she wrote, "I wanted most of all to bring to the attention of distinguished scholars a subject that one day must compel their attention and that of the world, if man, to understand some of the motivations of his own being." During my years of research, I had found that there were scholars in a number of countries engaged in pathfinding work. Though many of them were isolated from colleagues in the land, they were all equally eager to advance beyond dogmatic orthodoxy into techniques that were already being used to them by extraordinary evidence. Thus, apart from PF conferences, publications, programs, creation of our formalized PF International Affiliate Program in 2001, dovetailing with our 50th anniversary, is a direct outgrowth of Garrett's vision for PF as a foundation devoted to educational researching psychical phenomena and their value in time. Some 23 international affiliates share their commitment to the foundation held goals. The late Eileen Coly so ably led our organization upon Garrett's death in 1930. I was incredibly proud of our international affiliate program and its potential, disseminating information, engendering a wider global perspective, adding diverse voices to what has lamentably, erroneously, often been seen as primarily an Anglo-American interest. It is with great respect and gratitude that on behalf of Parapsychology Foundation, I'll speak to its first president. I am proud to now be able to give my thanks to those serving our current affiliates. Very regretfully, the Foundation had our efforts somewhat stymied, shall we say, in past years by financial reasons. The work of the Foundation continues to elevate reduced fashion, and now, very fortunately, we are waking to our mission for at least a few more good years, and hopefully much longer support our institution. And, somewhat incredibly, and not without the dedication of those in our PF family of conference participants, and award winners, not to forget, in the least, continual contributions to Dr. Carlos Alvarado, have stubbornly joined with me in support of the organization, thick and thin, especially the thin. We find ourselves this December celebrating not 50, but 65 years of work in the rededication and renewal. Now proud to welcome once again some of our long-standing and those new to the program gracious work. I'm tremendously thankful to them, and I'm enthusiastic for the potential of their combined expertise. We will in future showcase other international affiliates attempting to widen the reach. For now, let us now turn a new page and begin. Take it away, Nancy.
I'll be uploading the Word doc of Lisette's comments into the classroom so you can download them and read them later. We were having a little bit of difficulty with your sound fading in and out. We think that's probably the storm. So I just wanted to give you a little bit more information about the Parapsychology Foundation International Affiliates Program as it exists now. The program consists of one affiliate chosen from each country who's intimately involved with the parapsychological investigations taking place in his or her culture. They represent the work of the foundation in their home country and within the context of the foundation's resources, publications, conferences, and website have an increased opportunity to share their own research and activities with colleagues who are dedicated to parapsychological research around the world. So together, PF International Affiliates can, as Eileen J. Garrett hoped, take psychical research out of the field of the abnormal, eccentric, or unreal and bring together those who understand the deep unconscious forces at work. So what started out with 23 individuals in 23 countries, as Lisette mentioned, back at the turn of the 21st century, has now grown to 27 individuals in 26 countries. We actually just recently added an affiliate for the United States because we've never had one before. So Dr. Dean Radin accepted that charge. I'm just going to read the list of the names and the countries that they represent just to honor their support and help and participation in our many activities over the years. As the ones that are listed in red, obviously, are the folks that will be presenting in this conference. So for Argentina, we have Dr. Alejandro Parra, Australia, Professor Harvey J. Irwin, Austria, Professor Peter Mulash, Brazil, Dr. Wellington Zangari and Dr. Fatima Regina Machado, Canada, Mr. Walter Mayer Zu Urban, England, Professor Chris Rowe, Chile, Mr. Sergio Schilling, France, Dr. Mario Varvoglis, Greece, Mr. Nikolaus Kalmartzis, Germany, Gerhard Hovelman, Hungary, Zoltan Vasi, Iceland, Professor Erlander Haraldson, India, Dr. Satwan Pasricha, Israel, Dr. Joseph Glickson, Italy, Dr. Massimo Biondi, Japan, Hideyuki Kokubo, Mexico, Dr. Sergio Rueda, the Netherlands, Dr. Hans Gerding, Norway, Mr. Olav Brenson, Portugal, Dr. Mario Somois, Romania, Dr. Adrian Petrut, Scotland, Dr. Carolyn Watt, South Pacific, Dr. Robin Taylor, in Spain, Dr. Oscar Iborra, Sweden, Dr. Edsel Cardenia, and now in the United States, Dr. Dean Radin. So these are the individuals who are PF International affiliates, and you'll find out more about them as we redo our websites. You can see there many of the biographies of these individuals on the old website, which is still available at www.parapsychology.org. If you click on programs and then on PF International affiliates, you'll find the old list with links through to biographies for the people who are on that list. So now Carlos is going to give you some information about how this particular conference was constructed. And I'll close off my mic and my camera and open his. So just a second, folks.
Hello there. I hope you can see me clearly. I just have a few comments to talk about the international aspects of the foundation and its conferences. As you probably know, the foundation is known for many things since 1951 when it was founded. It's known for providing grants to people that work in parapsychology, organizing a variety of conferences, publishing, education for students and others, and several other things. All of these aspects have always involved from the beginning, from the early 1950s, attention to the international scene. In this way, I think the foundation has been different from other organizations that are more national in the sense that they tend to focus more on specific countries. Perhaps this emphasis is more clearly seen in the organization of conferences. And here you get a few examples of well-known conferences from the past organized by the foundation. The, the one held in 1953 in Utrecht, First International Conference of Parapsychological Studies, was the first major conference that the foundation put together, and it had participants from many different countries. This established a pattern that was to follow in the next years, trying to see what was happening in parapsychology in different places. And over the years, other conferences like the ones that you see here, Parapsychology and Anthropology, held in London in 1973, and so forth. And these are only very few ones. The foundation has always made an effort of bringing people from around the world to talk about their theories, about their research, and hoping not only to advance parapsychology itself, but to put people in contact, people that have been separated geographically. In this, my last slide, I would like to mention that the current event is modeled after a conference that was held in France in 1971. It was called Parapsychology Today, a Geographic View. And the point of this conference was to invite people from different countries to talk about developments of parapsychology in their countries, very similar to what we are doing today. Also today we have a smaller conference. In 71, we had a lot more of people from different places. One example was the participation of the very well-known and almost legendary figure of Hans Bender from Germany. But as you can see in the list, there were people from a variety of countries that presented aspects of the history of parapsychology in their places, education, research, some of the results of research, and so forth. This has been going on, as I said, since the early 50s, and is part of the remit of the foundation, is part of the mission that the foundation has had and still has today. To end, I would like to read you a very short sentence that J.B. Rhine wrote in 1953. He said, "There is in this field today a network of active research interrelationships over the world, such as never before existed." End of quote. That may have been true in 1953, but is even more true today, especially because of technologies like the internet. We are able to do events like the ones that we're doing now. And we are hoping that this, like in the old days, will bring together researchers from different places and will spread information about what is happening in other countries, because in other countries, uh, many of the developments are published in their different languages, in German, in Italian, in Spanish, in French, and so forth. So a lot of the information that you will be hearing in the talks today and tomorrow is difficult to find if you don't read all of those different languages. Having said that, well, I just want to welcome all of you again to this event, and I hope that you enjoy the presentations that follow. Thank you.